Are you ready for the annual Social Connections Summit? It's happening August 5th and 6th. This year's summit theme is all about building trust and connecting authentically. That's in both your personal and professional life. Experts, coaches, and social wellness practitioners from all over are going to gather to this one spectacular event to help bring the joy of connection, community, and camaraderie to you. If in your personal life you feel unsupported with your current social circles, or if you don't have a group of peers that are close to you in age and share your interests and lifestyles, if you feel shyness or anxiety when meeting new people, this event is for you. It's going to help you improve your personal life. And in your professional life, if you feel more like an outsider than a team member in the workplace, if you feel like you don't have peers at work that know what's important to you, or if you feel like you always have to go along to get along, you need to be at this event. I promise you, you will leave empowered with skills and knowledge to create the social, emotional support that you need in both your personal and professional life. You don't have to just be friendly at work. You can actually be friends. Come find out how. Don't wait. Get your tickets now. VIP ticket holders will receive private, personalized one-to-one coaching session from up to 3 different coaches of their choosing. That's right. VIP ticket holders will receive private, personalized coaching. If you've been afraid to invest in a coach, this is your opportunity to test drive. If you want an experiential learning environment like none other, where you're going to gain insight from world-class professionals, be empowered by personality tests like the Enneagram and DISC assessments, and have an opportunity to network and share your experiences with others who feel exactly as you do, get yourself to the annual Social Connections Summit happening August 5th and 6th. Go to patternsof possibility.com to get your tickets, or check the link in the show notes. I'll see you there. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his. You're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about conflict. Specifically, my issues when making friends and connecting with people authentically around conflict. There is a necessity, there is an importance to actually having conflict. I'm going to talk about why it's important, how it shows up, and why we might want to avoid that. I'm also going to share a few things to do when you're facing conflict, how you can get through it to build a more deeper, meaningful connection with someone. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, I know that I'm not alone in this, so I want to tell you about what conflict was for me when I was a kid and how I faced it growing up, what I learned about it. I actually learned that it was really intense. Like, it was an intense emotional experience. I also learned that it was impolite and it was hurtful for everybody to express it, to express my discontent, or if I were to upset somebody, or if I were not able to make them happy. I really learned that I was responsible for everybody else's feelings, and I could control those feelings through my actions. I know that I'm not alone in this. As a people pleaser, if you're a people pleaser, you can relate to this too. You have this all-encompassing power over all the people in your life, and you can make them happy or sad just by frowning, just by smiling, with your eye wink, however you move. You have control over those people. That's what I've learned. And I've learned that I needed to be a good person. And I really did want to make people happy because it was more joyful, of course, to make someone happy, to be able to have that power over them and to show them joy, watch their eyes light up and imagine that I did that. It was me. I did that. They don't have any autonomy of their own at all. So I'm responsible for their happiness. I'm responsible for their pain and their sadness. And if I can control myself, if I can move in a certain way, then they would be happy or they would be mad. And so I was really hyper conscious of the fact that I could make people upset. I can make them upset. And I want to be a good person instead because of the Christian way I grew up to, be a good person, do unto others, all those things. But I learned that if they were in a bad mood, if there was some kind of conflict because of something that I expressed, I'm a bad person. So it's not okay for me to disagree. It's not okay for me to express anything to the contrary of what they say, because it's going to hurt them. They're going to be angry and they're going to be mad at me, and I'm going to be a terrible person. So I carried that mindset into all of the relationships that I've created. Every single relationship that I've had before I really started doing my own self-reflection, I thought that I was responsible for their happiness. I would forgo mine, and I'd make sure that they would be happy to avoid conflict. No one would be upset. I wouldn't have to deal with their upsetness. I could look at myself and say I'm a great person. That was my mindset. But it's important that we learn to disagree with people and to express that and to be heard in that space. And that's something that I didn't learn. But I learned now, I know now that it is important for conflict to happen in relationships of any kind. Conflict. And what I'd like to present to you today is this idea around what conflict is and how the word itself sounds like it is a really hurtful, antagonizing, intentionally painful word. It doesn't have a really easygoing feel to it. I mean, of course, it's conflict, but I'd like to replace that word with something else, because conflict sounds like strife. It sounds like pain. It sounds like war, hostile confrontation. It sounds like a struggle. So one of the things that I did was to replace that word with misunderstanding, to reframe the concept of fighting with someone. When I step into a conflict, now will be referred to as misunderstanding going forward. When I step into a misunderstanding with someone, it changes the mindset. Misunderstanding, in my humble opinion, and the way I look at it, is that I missed something. I did not understand their point of view, their worldview. I'm no longer responsible for how they feel. I'm responsible and interested in learning why they feel that way. That's it. In order to do that, I have to control and manage my own emotions so that I can hold space for them. So when we step into this space where there's a misunderstanding, the mindset shifts from I'm going to fight you to justify my feelings and downplay your feelings, because before I had to justify the fact that I was a good person, and if I expressed a feeling that upset them, then I was no longer a good person. So I was in that mindset. I have to justify who I am. I have to justify me being a good person, so therefore your feelings don't exist. But with the misunderstanding, I know that my feelings are valid. They're right. They're true. No matter what the situation is, I feel the way I do about it. And with the misunderstanding, I'm also able to recognize that they have the same kind of autonomy. They have the same worldview, or they have their own worldview. They have their own feelings, and they are expressing them. I just missed what the problem was. I just missed what set off that unpleasant feeling. And I'd like to know that. If I'm looking at it as a misunderstanding, I'm seeking to understand them. That immediately removes me from this combat, put them up, let's fight, struggle, hostile confrontation kind of situation. I move away from that to work as a scientist, to become a scientist, to analyze, to inquire, to investigate, to observe what they're feeling and why. Because at the end of the day, I've discovered in all of my relationships and any relationships or connection that I've created, everyone wants to be understood. Everyone wants to be understood. So what I do is understand. If there was anger and resentment, that is sure to disappear. Because think about it this way. If you're in a misunderstanding with a friend and you take the time to put aside your own feelings, to see them authentically, to listen to them, even if they're saying something about how you behaved, if you can do that, you can understand more about who they are and take some time to reflect. Be like, wow, my actions caused this kind of behavior in you, or it impacted you this way, my friend. I'm really grateful to know that information because that's not my intention. That's not what I wanted to do. So now I know going forward to adjust instead of fighting against that. Your feelings aren't valid. Friend, I did what I did because I'm working for you. I'm doing the best I can for you, trying to justify being hostile, struggling with them. That goes out the door when you start understanding how they respond to that stimulus or how they responded to whatever action that was taken. You as a better friend, you'll become a better friend because you'll know what it is that they don't want to do. And if you're a friend who wants to be a helpful person, you will not do the things that they don't want you to do. You'll never get to that point if you believe it's a confrontation, if you believe that it's a conflict when they share something like that with you. This is what I discovered in my journey. And so, what do you do when you find yourself, trying hard to keep it together, when somebody is expressing that you have done something that hurts their feelings or you have done something that they didn't desire for you to do? What do? Well, the first step I'm going to say is take a deep breath. Take a breath. Whoosh, breathe. If you have intense emotions coming up, if they're showing up, if they're like, justify my anger. I was going to say justify my love, but justify my anger. I'm mad now because you don't appreciate me. You don't treat me right. You don't appreciate what I've done for you. And there's conflict. You want to go take care of that immediately. Do the best that you can to take care of that. It's going to be really difficult for you to understand them when you don't even understand yourself. We don't even understand why you're so upset and frustrated, because you're just going to take that energy and nail your friend with it. Boom. Rawr. All the anger, all the disappointment, all the justification that you're a good person. And if you want to be connected with them, you don't want that to happen. You don't want them to fight with you. You don't want to fight with them. You're not trying to hurt them. You have to pay attention and understand where that's coming from. Where? So go take care of that first. Take a deep breath. If you feel some anger, some frustration, sadness, whatever it is that comes up, is going to color the way they speak to you. If they share something more with you, you can't even hear the authenticity of their point of view because you're stuck in your own feelings. Step one, go take care of your own feelings. Go vent. Go write it out. Go make a video of yourself. Go do something with the energy, push-ups or whatever. Go process that energy that's coming out. And if it's happening in mid-moment, it's okay to ask for space. Actually, it's very important to ask for space, because on the other side of the fence, your friend who is interested in letting you know their point of view, if you say that you don't have the capacity for it now, it's in their best interest to give you space so that they can be clear about them getting their message through to you, so they can know that the next time you meet up, you're in a different headspace and that they will be heard authentically. So it's in their best interest to be like, oh, you can't hear me now. Okay, I got it. You need to go process. I'm going to go step away. But don't let it be for like months and years. Process that. Do the due diligence to process your own feelings about why you're so upset about someone telling you that the impact that they've had or that you've had on them wasn't what you desired. Go sit down, figure that out. All right, step 1, done. Step 2, still away from your friend. Try and consider what their point of view is. Now, this stage, go and talk to other people if you'd like about the point of view, neutral people about the point of view to give you some perspective. And then after you've gotten some perspective, maybe you've written it out, journaled, reflected on it, reread your stuff, reflected. Step 3 is to go talk to your friend. And here is the tricky part. It's the focus on them. You are trying to understand them. And in order to understand them, as I said before, you need to be able to put your feelings aside, tone them down a bit. So as soon as the conversation starts and it flares up again, you've got to pay attention to that. Turn it down. Do your best to turn it down, to have a real conversation. You're trying to see their point of view. You're trying really hard to see their point of view. And not only hear and see their point of view, but to demonstrate to them that you have heard their point of view, that you do know what their pain is with the actions that you've taken. Because that's really what's going to heal your friendship. That's really what's going to heal your relationship. It's a skill set that brings you closer together. And the reason why conflict is important, because we're not going to conflict or misunderstanding is important to acknowledge, is because we're not going to like all the same things. We're not going to like everything that the other person likes. You're not going to like everything your friend likes. You're not going to like the way things go. You're going to have feelings that need to be expressed. And this is one of the most difficult places to be. This is why friendships and connections fall apart. But if you can master this, you get to learn more about them. They feel safer with you when you're able to hold space for them and they're expressing their anger, expressing any feeling, joy, sadness, anger, frustration, or fear to you. You're going to build a better connection. You're going to show up as a safer, more trustworthy person when you hit these conflicts and turn them into misunderstandings and communicate. You will definitely, most undoubtedly, have better connections with the people around you. I'll be right back with the answer Reddit question. All right, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Vacations are ruining me and my best friend's friendship. My best friend and I have an amazing relationship, but over the last few years, I've felt she's been getting envious of vacations I'm taking. She got so upset on the last trip I took, she stopped talking to me for a month, all because she, quote, always wanted to go there. I went with a cousin, and I didn't invite my friend because my cousin invited me, and I felt like it was a trip just for our family. She casually mentioned going to this specific place once, and then claimed that I knew she wanted to go there. So now I invite her on my trips, thinking this would solve the problem. No, it made it worse. She traveled and does not understand. She's never traveled and does not understand how much it costs. And now she's mad at me because I'm, quote, taking trips without her again. I'm not paying her way. She spends her money how she wants and actively chooses and to buy tons and tons of unnecessary, in my opinion, items. It's making me feel ashamed of talking about my trips and posting pictures because she guilts me every single time. I give her 12 plus. I give her almost a year's notice and about how much everything will cost. And she just says over and over that she can't do it, which is totally fine. but then I still get guilted into feeling like an asshole. Is this friendship doomed? I love her, but I'm not going to stop living my life because she can't control her jealousy. Well, thank you, Poster, for writing, Redditor. It sounds like all these buzzwords in the post. I have the most amazing friendship, but I love her, but she guilts me. She's jealous. And here's some of the things that we just don't notice really as warning signs of a friendship that is not really good. We see all these really nice things. I wonder what are the nice things that you did. But this post isn't about all the nice things the fun things that you do together. But I'd be curious to know. And if you're in listeners out there, if you have these huge red flags and you're like, but they do this. Well, what is it that they do? I love them, but like, no, people really don't talk about the specific actions and behaviors of people when they say that they love what they do. That there are some things that they don't, but the things that get on their nerves, they're so quick to point them out. And so this is a big thing because, wow, it's a lifestyle thing. I like to talk about your history, your hobbies, and your habits as being some of those connectors, the overlapping things that connect you. And so this will fall under the habits thing, the habit of traveling, habit of spending your money in a certain way. And connecting with people who don't spend the money the same way is a reflection of their values. And when we have values that don't align, we have conflict. We have conflict and misunderstanding because the way you're doing things is not the way I do things. I want you to be broke and I want you to stay home and spend your money on the way I spend my money so that we can talk about the way I spend my money or the way we've spent our money. But if you're doing something because your habits are different, whatever it is, you have a different job, you have more money, you're saving money, however you're making these trips, however you're going on these trips, it is not aligned with their values because if they really wanted to go, you were giving them ample time, you're giving them an entire year to figure out how to do it. It's not about going with you, it's about this value system that they have. They're spending money in ways that you would not spend money. As you said in here, she buys tons and tons of unnecessary items. And it's not like you're judging her for that. It's just that's what she's doing instead of living up to the values that you have. The values that she says that she wants. She wants to go on vacation, but she doesn't want to pay for it. She wants to guilt you into either paying for it or not going on those trips yourself. And that feels awful for you. So what's happening here, it seems like to me, is that she just wants you to feel bad. I know that's hard. That's harsh. But it seems like that's just it. So what I want to ask or throw it out there to consider, like, why? What is it about the friendship that's loving then? What is it about the friendship that's amazing? Because you're not going to stop living your life. You said that. You're not going to stop living your life because you can't control jealousy. But what is it that's amazing about this? I wonder. That's just for you to reflect on, Redditor, or if you all have a similar relationship where someone is throwing up this jealousy, but over this one thing. It's not really a one thing. It's your value system and your lifestyle. So I want you to consider that. Now, as far as this relates to conflict and misunderstanding, what we want to do is try really hard to process those feelings about the frustration. Like, hey, I'm accommodating, okay? Like, this poster is accommodating. Like, I will plan the trip. I will tell you how much it costs, and I'll do it a year in advance. There you go. That's really accommodating. That gives them ample time to save up and to know what to expect for it. So there's feelings about that, I'm sure, that obviously you wrote them down. But I'd like you to put those aside and walk in with this understanding piece. Trying to understand what's going on. Understanding their point of view. I think that This friendship, you said, is this friendship doomed? I think that once you make an effort to understand them, because it seems like you have been accommodating as well, but if you make an effort to understand them, a concerted effort, you may notice that they really are uncomfortable with who they are and how they show up. This is me reflecting a whole lot on my own experiences. They may feel like they're uncomfortable with who they are and how they show up, and they just keep showing that to you. They're jealous of something in your life, and you're going to keep seeing it. That's the understanding piece. You misunderstood, or you had conflict about going to a place that she always wanted to go to. So you feel justified in going, and she feels left out. You both have these conflicting points of view. And then you put your point of view down to the side, and you fully step on her side to understand what is up. What is so upsetting about her going on a trip? Figuring those pieces out, you may find that she's just jealous and she wants your lifestyle. She wishes she had as much money as you did, or the flexibility to do so and to do everything. You may discover that. But whatever it is that you discover, you are going to just see her fully and see her point of view. Is this friendship doomed? I'd love to just tell you yes. I'd love to just say that. I'd love to just say no too. Like, no, you could work it out. I'm not sure until you really fully demonstrate that you understand to her how she feels. Like, help her understand, like, wow, this is not cool. She's not getting what she wants. Essentially, I think that it is she wants to she says on the surface that she wants to take these trips, but what are her actions showing up like? What is it doing? So when you step into this conversation, I would recommend that you don't let them blame you for what they're doing. Don't let them say it's your fault. It's you doing all these things and try to accommodate them anymore, because you've already done those things. Just make sure to demonstrate that you understand what's going on with them. Why are they so jealous? Why did they behave the way they do? Just seeing their point of view. And then once you see their point of view, you can decide what it is that you want to do. You can decide whether you want to leave the friendship, or you can decide to stay with the friendship. So I'd really love to learn about what you do in this situation. I hope that you're listening and you'll write me. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.